everyone. I love that intro, so I thought I'd use it for my live. I usually use that for my podcast, which is called Meditation Millionaire. And so I just wanted to come on here briefly and talk to you a little bit about the gut-brain connection for dementia. So I'm Dr. Marianne Pageant. I'm a doctor of metaphysics. I am not a medical doctor. However, I have had two parents that have both had dementia, and I have been told that I should be careful, and I am careful, as I do anyways. I don't believe I will get dementia because I do far too much. My brain is far too stimulated to get dementia. I don't have time for dementia. That's what I've decided. So I did want to share some amazing things that do help the caretakers. So this is maybe more about the caretakers, and it's also about the person who has dementia. So I do represent a product. I'm a managing director at APL Go, and we have an amazing product. And recently I have had some very good results with this particular product. So this is for the brain, and it helps us focus. So it helps to bring about clarity. Now, these products are like lozenges. They are not capsules, so there's no swallowing involved. This is like a candy. It will be a lot easier to give this to your parents or whoever has the dementia. And you would treat it like a candy. You could also put it into a glass of water, and it will just dissolve if you have a hard time swallowing or anything like that. But I did want to share a story that a friend of mine, her mom's sister, has pretty advanced dementia and hasn't been able to recognize her own sister really for the past 2 years. And so she started her on these because she herself was taking them, just because as we get older, we lose some brain memories. And so she had some good results for herself. So she thought, well, let me try giving her some. And she ended up having some really great conversations with her. Now, some of the time it didn't really last very long. Until now, she's been taking a bit more. And so now she has a little bit more activity from her. So now she can sit down and actually have a full-blown conversation with her sister, and she recognizes who she is, and they're talking about the family. And it doesn't last forever, and you have to take them. But this was just her doing this. She wasn't able to get her anything else, but she was able to get these into her hands and into her body. And so this is a product that is 100% natural. And it has, here, I will actually tell you how natural it is. It is dairy-free, gluten-free. It's 100% vegan. It's non-GMO. It's halal, kosher, pesticide-free, soy-free, nut-free, alcohol-free, cruelty-free, non-toxic, egg-free, FDA-approved, and drug-free. It's also Health Canada approved because we do have it in Canada as well. It is not available everywhere in the world. The company's only 13 years old. They haven't made it to every single country yet, but they are getting there. It's been in Canada for a little over 3 years, I would imagine. I've been involved with the company for nearly 2 years. It's coming up to 2 years. Now, for me personally, I like to add these two products for the gut. So this one here will clean out the liver a little bit. It will detoxify the liver, but it will actually support the liver. And it's going to strengthen the liver's job, which is to detoxify. This one here will help to balance out the microbiome and will do whatever needs to be done then in there. It's said to have some capability of destroying some parasites that we don't need. So, uh, but this isn't just about the products. Those are the products that I've seen some results with. They did not have these products around when my parents both had it. My mom had it more seriously. She had very aggressive, uh, and it was very advanced and really bad. I mean, there are certain characteristics that happen. If you are dealing with a person who has dementia, you know what I'm talking about. There's screaming, there's aggression, there's the lack of recognition, which is heartbreaking for family members. I remember my mother finally had to end up in a nursing home because we just couldn't handle her anymore. And we're not professional, and you need a team of people sometimes, and so just cleaning her and bathing her was hard, and she'd go screaming. My dad even moved from a house into a condo. She'd go screaming down the hallway, and so that's not helpful either. It's not helpful for her. It's not great for him. I mean, it was exhausting, and also for myself. And I was working, and so you can't, sometimes you can't. Now, if you leave your job and you can afford to do that, then that's great. But if you can't, you have to hire people and then slowly get into a nursing home. And so my mom ended up being in a nursing home for 7 years. Heartbreaking. I remember talking to many people, and my dad did the same. So my dad was not in the nursing home as long. When he got it and we put him in, he was in maybe 3 years before he passed. He was older. He was in his 80s. My mom passed away at 71, very young, after struggling for a really tough 10 years. And prior to that, it was a slow process. And, we had gone to a specialist, and he had already told us that she has this dementia. It's just a question of, can they slow it down a little bit? Yes. So she did take some drugs. It did help, and everything we're not sure if it's going to work, because at that time it was relatively new. I mean, we all know older people tend to forget stuff, but this was pretty intense. So, and the whole situation is heartbreaking. It's nerve-wracking. For dementia caregivers, it is really, really, really difficult. I mean, my heart goes out to you because I know what it's like. It's heartbreaking with any parent that has any kind of illness. But when it's physical, you can point and you can say, here, the hip hurts, or this hurts, or the knee doesn't function anymore. But with dementia, it's so difficult. And if people don't know what it is, it's very difficult. But I can tell you a couple of the things that did work while I didn't have these 3 products. I can tell you a couple of things that I did try. So one was, we had the omegas. So gave her a lot of omegas. And whenever I did that, I could see that there was a significant improvement. Not super huge, but definitely a significant improvement. And the other one was, I teach meditation and yoga, and I'm a Kundalini yoga instructor as well. And coming from the world of metaphysics and just energy healing in general, I would do some energy healing on my mom and all that. But we would also go out for walks in the park. So they lived in a condo building that was very close, across the street from a park. So we would go for a walk, and I would have her do some very deep breathing exercises to get a tremendous amount of oxygen into the body, because most of us, we just breathe from here, right? It's a shallow breath. Right? Most of us. What you need to do is, and exhale. And if you can get your parents or your person, your spouse, whoever it is, the person with the dementia, if you can get them to do some deep breathing, it's very, very helpful. Once they get pretty advanced, it's hard to get them to do anything because they're so aggressive and they're so angry. And depending on what kind of a lifestyle they've led and what they're used to, and childhood traumas come up for people. I mean, there's so much, and that is not new. I mean, any psychologist will tell you that. If you haven't dealt with it, you've got a lifetime of issues stored away in your body parts, they're all going to show up. Sometimes your hips and knees hurt just because you don't feel like moving forward in a situation. Then you can imagine all the things that have built up over, a period of 60, 70 or 80 or 90 years in some cases, right? And it's just, it's different for each person. So I found that the deep breathing really helped give them a tiny bit of clarity, a little bit more balance, and also it calms the nervous system. When you take an inhale, and I would do this with my mom, and she would follow. And whenever we did this, and I had the opportunity to, get her some omegas, and somehow I could get it into her, and my dad just couldn't do it. So that's why, I couldn't actually live there. And so she would inhale, and then if you hold the breath for a little bit, and then exhale, this has a huge calming effect on the body. So if you can do that with your people, it's actually going to help both of you. If you do it together, I noticed it calmed me down, and she was much calmer around me. So children and older people have a tendency, and not just them. I mean, I'm talking about huge empathic people will do this all the time, doesn't matter what age. But that you can detect and feel someone else's energy is truly helpful, right? And so they will react. If someone's nervous around them, they will get more nervous. It's like a pet, like dogs will do that. Cats will sometimes do that. I'm not a cat person. I don't have cats. I don't understand them quite as well as I understand dogs, because I do have a dog. But I know that they're very similar. And so I can't stress enough how this would actually help you. Now, some of them also will go into anxiety. I unfortunately don't have any of those boxes right now to show you, because I've sold out, because I also operate as a coach, and a lot of my clients have anxiety. In the last 4 or 5 years, we've had numerous people that the level of anxiety has just gone up with so many. So we have 2 really amazing products for that. One is Relax, which helps your whole nervous system and your body to also relax. And I also couple everything up with meditation always, because meditation on its own will help you calm down your nervous system, also your brain, also your whole body, and it'll also fill up your body with oxygen. So you will actually end up having more energy. And so the other one is we actually have a product called Happy. And it will also help to make you happy. So it'll make everything around you much more tolerable. So those 2 for anxiety are amazing. So whether or not it's for the person who has dementia, or it's, and that will work if they're sort of on their way at the beginning stages. And even if they're super anxious after, it'll probably help them as well. Although I have no results with that one. I do with the other one, because I know that actually helps. When I say the other one, I mean back to this one, the first one that I showed you. So that one really helps a lot. And it helps also, this is not just for dementia. I'm just telling you the really great results we had with a few people actually by now. And not only that, it's very good for anyone who's got ADD, ADHD, autism. If you're in menopause and you have foggy memory, and even with a lot of my diabetic patients, they have said that they also have benefited greatly from that, because any time where there's any kind of brain fog going on, this will actually help. And also the breathing. And for the caretakers, even more so, the Relax with the Happy. Those will help. And meditation. And if anyone else there does already journaling, will help you tremendously. Just the neuroscience between the pen writing and your brain is already going to help. It'll release a lot of anxiety. It'll help you, get some help, get a mentor, get some sort of mental health relief for yourself. Get a plan, because let me tell you, when I was in the nursing home visiting my mom, and I visited her a lot, and my dad, I brought him closer to me geographically, so I was able to go there even more. Well, actually, I probably went a lot to both, and there wasn't a weekend that I missed. But there was a lot of clients, a lot of children of parents that were in the nursing home, and they were so devastated that it broke their heart too much for them to come to the nursing home. And I was like, wow, this is when they need you the most. But it's hard. I fully understand. And so I just kind of put it in my mind. This is the way they have, this is what's happening with them. All you can do is be there for them. And I remember I had a client of mine say to me, she goes, I love that you go to visit your mom so much, and she doesn't even know who you are. And I said, no, she doesn't, but I know who she is. And every once in a while, I think she understands. I think these people are very aware of energy. I think they feel it. And I think they feel someone familiar, but they don't maybe necessarily. And they feel your love, and they feel. So don't leave them. Go visit them. Go be with them. And also take care of yourself, because yes, it's hard to see your parents who gave, your mother who gave birth to you, and now she doesn't know who you are. That's not easy for anyone. And it's not going to get easier. It's only going to get harder. But you know what? If you put it in your head that this is the way it is, I can't really change this. All I can do is try to make her as comfortable as humanly possible. That's it. That's all you can do for them. And don't try any harder, and take good care of yourself. And that's it. That's what I'm going to leave it at that for today. Thank you all so much. If you'd like to speak with me, reach out. I'm on Facebook, and I'm on LinkedIn, and I want to thank you all for listening, and love to all of you and your parents, spouses, family members, whoever they are. Namaste. Take a deep breath in. Hold it for a bit. Exhale. So you want to inhale through your nose. We'll do it again. You want to hold it for a bit. And then you want to exhale through your mouth. And we're going to do it one more time. Inhale. Hold it. And exhale. And please continue the breathing for 5 minutes, for 10 minutes, for 30 minutes, anything that will help you. Thank you all so much. And love to everyone. Love and light to everyone, actually.